Trying to reconnect.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a live edition of The Stand. Today we're going to be talking about the Orlando shooting, updates to that, and what actually happened and everything else. Just take a minute. We've been out for a while. We had vacation and other family issues, but we're back. We'll have more episodes coming up here shortly. So again, thank you for your continued support for this project that we like to call The Stand. All right, so getting into it, official numbers are out. 49 are dead, 53 are injured at Pulse, a nightclub in Orlando, Florida, where it is a gay nightclub. Obama wants to say that this is a shooting that took place, that it was because of hate and not actually radical Islam. Now, again, we had Eunice on, who is a Muslim and everything else like that. And it's not to say that, well, we just had him on just to say we had him on. But the big issue is that the radicalization of Islam is being taken over for the worst. Now, more details are coming up. The shooter was a security officer with one of the biggest security firms in the world, based out of Britain. With that being said, they do multiple security background checks. They also work for the government and everything else like that. With that being said, he was interrogated by the FBI multiple times, 3 times, due to a terrorist attack that was done by one of the mosque members that he attends to. All of which that he came clean, his background and everything else is clean, and they want to say that this now is domestic terrorism. Folks, this is not domestic terrorism. What this is actually is, again, an attack by radical Islam. It's not done by your daily Islamic members and everything else like that. This is done by, again, the radicalization of the religion. It's very sad to say what is happening to the religion and everything else like that. So continuing on, his brother-in-law is actually smuggling illegals, which are OTMs, which is other than Mexicans, into the country. Now these are Syrian refugees. These are also Libyan and everything else from the Middle East, which are possibly also more radical Islamists. More information that's coming out. The big story right now is saying that survivors that have survived the attack are coming out and saying that there were multiple shooters and not just the one that was mentioned in the news. This is a big important piece of information due to the fact that if there are multiple shooters, that means that if the attacks that we're going to see more and more, that they're going to be just bigger and everything else like that. Also that they found bombs planted within the club before the shooting took place. So something must have happened, just speculating now, something must have happened during or before the attack to where they were able, to where something must have happened where they weren't able to get those bombs detonated. Now I think everybody in the club would have been killed, to say the least, if those bombs would have gone off. But thank God they didn't. It is now come out saying that the FBI, like I was saying, was tracking him for 2 years and was told to stand down by Hillary's State Department agenda because of the fact that it is racist. And the people who actually were tracking him and everything else like that are now being subject for civil cases for racism. Just like the San Bernardino shooters and everything else like that. They were following them and everything. And now, what's happening now is that, what's going on is, so every time the FBI is tracking people and stuff like that, they're told to stand down because of possible racism and everything else. So continuing. Obama and Hillary are targeting the Second Amendment for the shooting. Like I said in the beginning, Obama saying that this was a hate crime and now it's a terrorist attack, which is totally false. This was a terrorist attack. The individual did make allegiance to ISIS a year before the attack, and also his father, what was part of previous Afghani war back in the 80s. So all this could be tracked back to Taliban and now Al-Qaeda and now ISIS. So Tim Kennedy, continuing, those who don't know, Tim Kennedy is known as a big MMA fighter, but what people don't know that he's a big special forces hero, pretty much. And with the Army, they don't really broadcast their heroes, unlike the Navy SEALs, where they like to, boost their people and stuff like that. So Tim Kennedy has his intel out saying the next big targets are Orlando, LA, San Francisco, New York, Boston, and Miami. All these are pretty much, homosexual hotspots per se. They're also we can also start looking forward to more possible attacks on soft targets. Soft targets being, gun-free zones and stuff like that. It's like I've been saying, folks. Obama's third term, will he come into life if this isn't stopped? So what I'm saying is, if there are these possible attacks coming within the month, what's going to happen, folks, is we could possibly look as a civil emergency. Orlando's already in a civil emergency. The mayor declared it not too long ago. I think that day, if I'm not mistaken. But Obama's third term, like I said, is coming to fruition. But my predictions were that it's going to be before the election if Trump possibly makes it. Because if these terrorist attacks do go in and start to become more relevant and more hardcore hitting, that they will possibly put the rest of the United States into a civil emergency. With that being said, what is a civil emergency? It's basically just a code name for martial law. So we could start looking forward to that. A big, just huge piece of information on the possible attacks that might possibly coming to America. And so this is the month of Ramadan, for those who don't know, in the Muslim religion. But now we're seeing that this isn't the case. So this is Shane Williams again for The Stand. Continue to like, support, share, and comment. Exercise your amendments while you still have them, before we start to go into this big purge of our amendments and everything else like that. And again, get ready, because you never know what's going to happen. I hate to be a fear monger and everything else like that, but it's not fear mongering when you start to see what's going on in the world. So again, start getting water, get ammo, learn how to use a handgun or a pistol or anything else like that, firearm, and start learning how to take care of yourself outside of the bubble that we're in. Again, Shane Williams for The Stand. Thank you very much.